Hi everyone, hopefully people can hear me. Just trying to jump into the game here with Demagogue and Raphelos. Should be a good one. Phoenix Scorpion's always a tough matchup, but Demagogue's a very good player, as is Raphelos, so should see some good stuff. So I'll pop over the deck lists while they're doing mulligans and things. Scorpion, we're on Scorpion Dragon. Looks like a fairly standard Scorpion Dragon, although storehouses and no back alley hideaways is a bit different. Um, and It's on the two centers instead of just the one or none, which you see often. But regardless, it's still Scorpion we know and love. Okay, and if I pop over to Phoenix, make Phoenix great from Demagogue. We have a Phoenix Dragon, which we're going to grow to know and love, I'm sure, over the next couple months in the Disciples of the Void era. Just a ton of good stuff in here. Only one Mia Satoshi, which is interesting. So he really wants to hit that Kanto district and no Imperial Storehouse. So as far as I can tell, the only other Imperial cards he has is the Kanjo when he hits the one Mia Satoshi. Shiba Peacemaker, which you don't always see, but I think is a quality card. Shores up their military defense quite a bit. Um, and you also see Atsuko, which, given the era of giant Phoenix characters, you don't always see play because their 4 and 5 slots are pretty stuffed with characters, but she can be quite powerful, the Void Grandma, as it were. Okay, so we're seeing Raphelos does a 1 mulligan from his Dynasty deck, while Demagogue does 3 from his. Sorry, does a 3. I missed his 3 from his Dynasty, 3 from his Conflict. And Raphelos does 3 mulligans, 3 from his Conflict deck. And away we go. So flop-wise, pretty strong start from Scorpion. They got the Bushi Lyre, which they love. I mean, not the Mediator to go with it, but 2 Lyres is not too bad. Storehouse for extra card draw. Favorable Ground's probably not that valuable right now. On the Phoenix side, we see a Solemn Scholar bought right away, which is obviously a very strong ability. Gives you that Shigenja if you need to use Cloud the Mind, etc. No targets right now, but Kajiko can always loom and hit the field. So will Raphelos do the one character pass? That's pretty standard from Scorpion, or will he go for the second Lyre for that extra card draw and the extra presence on political, so he could attack and defend fairly strongly? Looks like he did opt to be the first to pass. Oh, he passed the second player. Sorry. Yeah, it was actually Demagogue who took first. Passing a second player, very powerful. It's like a 9 fate start to 7. But of course, getting the naive scholar, a naive student is nothing to scoff at either. He's a strong political character, gets you a card. We see City of the Open Hand taking the honor after a 5/5 bid, very standard opening start. Forgotten Library is a really nice hit to see off the top for Phoenix, which means they might be able to downshift into some honor pressure, some card pressure after a turn or two. We see immediately Solemn Scholar going in for an attack military, which is strong because at this point unopposed unless there's a Yojimbo or Adept of Shadows or Magistrate in hand to drop as a conflict character. And once we know that Solemn Scholar has that Earth Ring, then the Lyre becomes quite ineffectual. So we'll see what happens here. Doesn't defend the conflict. Is there an assassination or some conflict character? Pops the storehouse to go looking for other answers. Scorpio with 11 cards in hand, you would imagine have some sort of answer, but you never know. I'm sure that Phoenix will have a few cards of their own. Oh, the screen description is off. Thank you very much. Just checking. Yeah. Let's see if I can. I'm always terrified to go into Twitch while I'm using it. Let's see if I can just jump in really quick and fix that. While we're waiting on the decision to see what Dastardly Trick Scorpion busts out to stop this. To go to my dashboard. Sorry about that music busting in there. Where's my dashboard? Okay. Okay, here we go. Discord. LCQ, Demagogue versus Raphelos, top 16. Okay, so hopefully that's a somewhat more accurate title. Okay, back to the action. So Secret Cache did kick off. It was a fine katana. As after, sorry, I'm just catching up a little bit here. So it looks like there was a dishonor. So Way of the Scorpion, I'm guessing, if I go back, yep, was Way of Solemn, sorry, which would take the Solemn Scholar back to 0. Then there was an attempt at katana to actually win the Earth Ring, which is valuable with the Solemn Scholar. That was let go. So it looks like it's pass. Now, there was one free card off Secret Cache. Solemn Scholar did manage to get 2 cards out of the Scorpion player's hand, so it's not bad overall. Although you do have a dishonored Solemn Scholar, so 0-0 for next round. Not the best. So Liar is going to come back at that Forgotten Library. I'm sure Scorpion is eager to get that Forgotten Library off the field and make sure they're the only ones with card advantage from their stronghold. Oh, hi, Lambert's Haspy. He was my teammate right now in the team tournament. We're having a lot of fun with that. Hope they have that again sometime in the future. Be great to explore different formats and things like that. The Team Unified tournament's going on right now. Okay, so Liar comes in, hits public forum. How is it Forgotten Library is always on a public forum for Phoenix? Or it certainly seems that way. Maybe it's a line of the card that I don't read or something like that it's going to always pop up on a public forum. So looks like he's going to get, unless there's a large a second military attack from a conflict character, it looks like that Forgotten Library is not going anywhere this turn regardless. So given that there's still attack left for Demagogue, or he could stand for favor, and he's losing on board if he tries to defend this. I'm not sure that he will defend this public forum. We'll see what he wants to do. If he had court games in his box, he has a reasonable chance of winning, but that's using resources that doesn't necessarily need to use to protect forum. Of course, a dishonored naive student isn't going to do a whole lot either, so tricky one. Oh, sorry, missed the chat. He didn't actually defend. I was going on waxing on my commentary, but he made the choice much quicker than I thought to just simply not defend. So if he has a court games in hand, he could make the political attack with the student, or he might just stand it for favor and let the public forum go. Oh, Miyamoto's Fury comes out. Strong card. We'll see a bunch of those on the day, with the total of 6 in both players' decks, I believe. So, Scorpion didn't have a cancel for that. It appears, because obviously Belushi Liar is a great target for that cancel, and looks like Naive Student will get a chance to go back to Secret Cache and what rings is he going to claim here? Oh, we see a court games taking him to 0-0. Is there going to be a counter court games? Looks like Phoenix is going to try to use that card advantage or try to push it Earth Ring here. Avoid would have been another possible choice, although Bushi Liar is not the worst thing to have in the field next turn, and just give Scorpion a card earlier, I guess. Is there a fan or court games or I don't know, Supernatural Storm, something to get this Earth Ring off? I'm not entirely sure it's worth it, but one card off your opponent, one card for you. It's probably worth a card. Yeah, we see the fan coming down on the student. Again, it's good to win the conflict. Obviously, he doesn't necessarily want to put on a character with no fate, but see the Liar coming in to prevent the unopposed. So it looks at this point, I think Raphelos is going to give up the win. Just using the favorable ground to prevent. Oh no, for shame. Sorry, he was one step ahead of me. Yeah, he had to bring in the courtier. That makes sense. So fairly defensive game so far. We've seen, let's see, both players went up to 10 cards. So we've seen 4 cards used. plus three dynasty characters, and we've revealed 2 provinces with no claimed rings at all. So we're going to be a pile of rings. Yeah, certainly the Box of Fox was ahead of me on that one. Oh, no, we see the conflict characters. No, there's many of them in the Scorpion deck. It's a very crowded conflict deck slot, the conflict character for Scorpion now. Lots of good ones, and he's going to go after that public forum, which makes sense. Start working towards getting rid of that Forgotten Library. On Earthring. So the third time somebody's tried to grab their Earthring this round. And looks like Demagogue succeeded in getting the Earthring in a very roundabout manner through display of power. On an Earthring, I suppose. Yeah, I guess. The 2 Fate to swing the cards around might make sense. He is up 2 cards now. Well, 1 card, I guess, overall. Scorpion loses the Cloud the Mind, which can be somewhat situational for Scorpion. Certainly much less consistent than it is in a Phoenix deck, but can be very powerful against a Phoenix deck because they have a lot of Dynasty characters with some really powerful cards. Yeah, good point, Box. That the favor makes a lot of sense. Which, Box, you're making such good comments in the comments. I don't know if you're anywhere where you can use a mic. I mean, certainly I'm without Cocaster and more than happy to have one. If anybody wants to jump on, they can just message me in Discord. But if you want to just watch the game, that's fine too. Okay, so we see flops come up. We have the Shiba Peacemaker we were talking about. It's relatively cheap military defense, although it can be just covered by the Yojimbo, so I'm not sure we'll see that being bought. Raphelos is the first to pass after buying his other Liar. Demagogue plays a Mediator with 2, which I'm seeing more and more in an assassination world. It seems a bit dangerous, but maybe he has censures. He has some of his 2 censures that he pulled up. And it is obviously certainly a powerful card in slowing down your opponent, plus having pretty good military stats. Both players bid 5. Forgotten Library still up, so bounces it up to 6 cards drawn for Demagogue. And Raphaelos is ahead on Honor, so he's not going to get a chance to utilize this box this turn. But, 4 Fate lead and boards, I think, in Scorpion's favor somewhat. But Phoenix, it's early days, and Phoenix has the favor at this point. No problem. No problem, Box to Box. Yeah, well, my Canadian accent's probably not the most intelligible to a lot of people as well. So, and I tend to speak a little quickly sometimes. So if I am speaking too quickly for the stream, people let me know. Certainly I can slow it down and go for a little more quality commentary rather than quantity of commentary, as it were. So we see the Yojimbo come in for another attack on Public Forum. Again, I got to think that getting rid of that Forgotten Library is on Raphelos' mind. And he is, coverting the Solemn Scholar. I mean, just both 2-0 militaries, but certainly the Solemn Scholar's not great for making an attack, per se. Interesting. I guess the covert's one way or another with these 2 characters. Let's see. So Demagogue's got 3 charges. He could charge the Shiba Peacemaker, which should be unorthodox, but certainly fairly strong defense at 5. Outside of that, Shrine Maiden, conflict character, not exactly sure. Blocking with a Mediator would seem not the best use of a 3 political strength character. I mean, at some point, he also a Public Forum is going to go, and it's a farmable province that he may want to get off the board. I'm gonna refresh my browser. I've seen on other people's streams sometimes they get stuck. Oh no, okay, there's the defense. Just thinking, it's hard to tell sometimes. I mean, obviously that wasn't a long time or anything, but I'm just a little paranoid that I may need to refresh the browser. Actually, I'll go into F11 mode. I've seen give people a little space. How's that for showing the cards and things? Maybe I can pump it up a little bit bigger here. So he's defending with the Mediator, which is preventing a break at this point. Also provides Corch if he wants to double for shame. Have to double check if his deck has bonsai in it. I don't remember seeing it. I want to check the deck list. Let's take a quick look to see if he's got what Demagogue's outs would be to actually win this fight. He's got the charge we talked about, and katanas mainly. No. Oh, yeah, policy debate. That makes sense. Certainly, he's got quite the advantage there. So Phoenix has to fork over 3 honor, taking him into 5 at turn 2, which isn't danger territory, but given the Solemn Skull is already dishonored and you're really virtually on 4, it's something he's going to have to start thinking about. We see in the hand of Scorpion there's an assassination. Oof. I guess he doesn't like to see that unless he's sitting on a censure because he's got 4 fate investment in that mediator. We see Kachiko, scary with 8 fate for Scorpion. Calling in favors, less relevant right now. Double for shame, Forged Edict, and Ornate Fan. So with a Forged Edict target, and an assassination, I don't like these mediators' chances for sticking around this turn. So the charge target's not spectacular for Scorpion, but then again, if he assassinates the mediator and gets it to stick, he's not really going to need anything else to break this province. Discards this Forged Edict over the assassination. So I'm assuming he has a censure in hand or something that he doesn't really worry about the mediator too much. Yes, there we go. Assassination cancels it with a censure. But Scorpion still being on 11 honor, I don't think that bothers them too much. That's a very healthy honor padding for Scorpion. Yep, there's the charge on the Sheba Peacemaker. And then counter charge, as it were, with the young Rumor Monger. Bringing the conflict up to 5-5. Saving the break. We're still fighting over Earthring. Wow, Earthring, very popular. Very popular in this matchup, it would appear. Of course, Scorpion does have to make up some of that card advantage. So 7 fate. So he's down to 7 fate. So it's still Kachiko range, although it's a pretty big investment. I don't know if we'll see that Kachiko come out this turn or not. It depends. He gets another fate off a ring, possibly. Oh, Shrine Maiden pops down. We'll see what Shrine Maiden's able to grab here. She got an against the waves, and an Ornate Fan and another charge hit the bin off the Shrine Maiden. Not too bad for pre-Disciple of the Void Shrine Maiden. I know that modern Shrine Maiden, it's 2 or 3, or it's just a crap Shrine Maiden. But now getting a pulling card on it in pre-Disciples is pretty good. And now the defender's up. But Scorpion, does have those double for shames. Certainly he can go back to breaking with the investment of some cards. But Phoenix is probably not that unhappy trying to get Scorpion to use up as many cards as possible here, because if you can take him down to a hand size of 4, like a 6-card advantage on Scorpion is not too bad. And if you can get him to start bidding above 1 while you're bidding 1, you can fix your honor situation relatively quickly, which has to be on his mind. Yeah, Box is with me on Shrine Maiden. Shrine Maiden plus new Scorpion Stronghold. Phoenix Stronghold is a little bonkers. Little nutter butters, as Minds would say. So I'll interject some Mind's Desire into this podcast for you guys. So we have a Dishonored Sheba, which takes it down to winning. So we'll see if he used that other for shame for the break or not. Another Shrine Maiden invested. Let's see what he gets. He pulls a Cloud the Mind, discarding Assassination and Policy Debate. Oh, Assassination is pretty dead right now. Policy Debate, not too bad to lose. But of course, we know that fallacy. It's not like he would have drawn them per se anyway. And takes it up to still defending. So we see that second for shame come out, popping it down to a 5-3. Still saving the break on that Forgotten Library. Thanks to a lot of conflict characters. So now the fate gap has widened to 6 in favor of Scorpion, and Scorpion arguably has a a better board. Oh, another charge for Atsuko. It was a three body, pretty solid. Obviously, Oh, actually, and if he's going to say take that Solemn Scholar on avoid conflict next year, next conflict, he can use Itsuko's ability to at least give it a stat and maybe win a conflict with someone he necessarily wouldn't win. Um, Clearly investing a lot in the Thirst Ring. I mean, it's obviously valuable with the Solemn Scholar on the board. It's a free Fury, or you can bow any character. So let's see how much more Scorpion wants to invest in this conflict. Both players have quite a bit. I think Demagogue started this starting this phase at four favor. I mean four fate, and now hit 0, going to a 7-0 7 fate advantage for Scorpion. So future turns are going to be pretty rough with what Scorpion's able to buy or cast down. So Solemn Scholar is going on a water ring. Makes sense. He get some of that investment back, say in the Atsuko, if he can win. He's on a military. He's got the 8 of the favor, and there's no natural defense on the board. So we'll see what conflict character Scorpion has. I mean, we know they have Kachiko for the policy debate. We don't know what they. Oh, and he didn't draw off. So we knew the hand. Could have been only Kachiko to do it. But yes, Pilgrimage is an unfortunate hit there, since he's not going to be standing that Atsuko, and it was going to be highly unlikely after using all those charges in the previous conflict that he was going to be able to break Pilgrimage and get that water ring off. So we see a 6 strength political attack come back on Public Forum and Forgotten Library. That's public enemy number 1 for the Scorpion clan, is that Forgotten Library. It's an easily farmable province too, so why not go back and get some ring effects and some fade off rings. Air ring, yep, makes sense in this case, because this can take, oh wow, this could take, given, 1 fates, there's no display of power and unlikely to stop this. And he's losing 2 characters at the end of this round, so this could be 1 honor at the start of next round for Phoenix against Scorpion, with, still a healthy board and a Kachiko in hand. This is looking really bad. So he's increasing the honor of the glory of the 1 Bayushi layer to pull it down to 4. So does he have maybe another Fury? Does he have something that can stop? I mean, he can stop the break, but I don't know if the break is really what he's worried about. It's the uncontested and the air ring itself. That's the problem. He does have enough fate for another display of power. So, investing 2 fate to get to not be in that sort of honor hole is probably worth it, although again the fate differential's getting pretty stark. So he did declare a second conflict, so the mediator's live. Sorry, did I miss that he used the mediator to gain that second fate? I was wondering where that second fate came from. Yeah, take 1 fate. Okay, interesting. That he stole. Yeah, I missed that too. I see in chat Chenfo pointing that out. That he stole the fate instead of an honor, which, I mean, obviously fate is more valuable in general, but in this situation, I would think the honor would be the more valuable choice. But maybe he's got plans. Kachiko comes down with a hefty amount of fate on her. She's not going anywhere anytime soon to try to push through this break. The liar gets pulled back with a favorable grounds, I guess to act as defense because he can't stand for the favor. He's not really needed in the conflict. Kachiko should be able to handle this unless there is a Fury in hand. Would imagine he would have played it by now if there was. Nope, there goes the Public Library there goes the Public Forum with the Forgotten Library on it. There's a steal, the 1 honor, unopposed, and 2 dishonor characters leaving play. So we're going to see a conflict character drop down. Of course, conflict character by itself with the standing Bushby Liar probably wouldn't be able to win a conflict. And yeah, you just give Scorpion a province activation, which is never fun. And a ring, which, well, might tie favor, which is fine, because I'm sure you probably want to keep it on military, but he might want the option of flipping, so we'll see what happens here leading into the next round. As a wall of as a wall of Shrine Maidens leave. Yes, I agree. I agree, Nix, that Metal Mediator does match up quite poorly to Kachiko. So if we look at the board, I mean, obviously the honor situation is very acutely poor for Demagogue, but Demagogue has six card advantage, but he's just way down on board. The fate situation's obviously evened up a little bit, but the board situation directly translated into the board situation swinging the other way, with the Kachiko hitting the field. Well, we Kachiko, Liar, and Yojimbo with just a mediator on board. So you have a covert and Kachiko, which can obviously just send away whoever she wants in most conflicts. Demagogue is going first, so he can at least deny the air ring. But then, of course, he'll have to prevent all the unopposed. He'll have to prevent a fire on a character that's going away that turn, etc. I mean, obviously, as we know, there's lots of ways for Scorpion to get that last honor from you. That's true. Good point. Obviously, there's going to be some clouds kicking around, and we even know he has one in hand. He drew it off the Shrine Maiden, so we know for sure there's at least one cloud. In his deck, and I haven't been a lot of Shigenja flopping on Dynasty, so it's a really good chance there's one coming up here. Oh, Against the Waves, which was drawn from the first Shrine Maiden that was dropped this turn. Cloud's the Rumor Monger. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm thinking he probably has 2 in that case then. Scoot goes into a new province. So, it's shameful. That's bad luck. In this case, for sure. Because, let's see what's going for Void. Which makes a lot of sense with Atsuko, of course, because he gets the buff. Which will enable her to take herself up to 2/2 to make this, to make it a win at least. But now he has 3 dishonored characters leaving play. So yeah, that's tough situation. It was a 50-50. At 3 cards, I could definitely understand why he didn't want to give Scorpion the secret cash trigger. But maybe it would have been safer overall. Probably not. Maybe they just pull out a way of Scorpion and the same thing happens. But yep, let's hope he has court games or something to reverse this. Oh, reverse this. Oh, yeah, he had it. Good. So he will stay alive this round if there's not something to dishonor Atsuko. Yep, wins the conflict. Voids off of from the unassuming Yojimbo. Covert obviously super dangerous for getting those unopposed conflicts. Plus, it's probably the best character to actually force to leave next turn. Makes it slightly less scary for the media going into the next round, but and Demagogue becomes first player with two fate on the fire ring, which is actually a pretty nice juicy ring, not just for the 2 fate, but with a 3 glory Kachiko on the board. Obviously, let's see. Another mediator. Well, there will be 1 conflict from Scorpion this turn, I would imagine. But now, of course, 2 fate on the fire ring, but I mean, obviously the air ring is the one the Demagogue has got to be thinking about taking first. So does he leave two fate? That always hurts when you have to leave two fate for your opponent. So you mediator with two again, a Soko Diplomat. Maybe you can get one of those mediators honored, or dishonor Kachiko if he's able to win the conflict. That makes sense too. Two Ahsoka Diplomats. So Demagogue could throw out a lot of honor or dishonor around. Scorpion goes with the Illusionist with two. So obviously he's not afraid of Assassinate from Demagogue at all. Because, if he wants to lose the game to get rid of Illusionist, I guess that's a fair trade. 1-to-1 bid, no surprise there again. Hand sized is obviously equalized quite a bit with that Forgotten Library gone and a lot of cards used by Demagogue last turn. Demagogue and Phoenix still have a slight hand lead. So we got pass. We're going to see a Soko Diplomat poke into what he knows is meditations. I would imagine he knows his meditations. No, I believe that Shenfall, I think Ref used his charge on in last conflict to pull in a young rumor monger after the first charge from Demagogue. I believe that's what happened. I can very quickly try to scroll back and see, but I think that's what it was. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find that in the wall of text. So what's the ring choice going to be? The fate or denying your immediate death? Oh, wow. And I just noticed that there's no Shugenja available for Demagogue. So even if he did have another cloud, he's not going to be able to play it. So given Kachiko's ability, I don't see how you'd win Political Air. Like, Political Air is just going to, Scorpion can win Political Air if they really want to. So I think the only choice here is Air leaving. Then, of course, you leave the Fire Ring with two fate on it for your opponent to dishonor one of your Ahsoka Diplomats, and you lose that way. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Ahsoka Diplomats could win this conflict and honor somebody. Or probably dishonor Kachiko, most likely. Okay, so he's opting to go with both Ahsoka Diplomats. Sure, if you're planning on winning, I guess why not? You can get both an honor and a dishonor, or two honors, etc. And he only really has to worry about defending one unopposed conflict, or making sure one conflict is unopposed, because the mediators will get him honor that he needs if there's a second attempt on a conflict this turn. So I think two Ahsoka Diplomats does make sense. I mean, it gives you a lot better chance of winning, of course. If Scorpion doesn't want this to go through, I think it's pretty easy for them to win this military conflict against two Ahsoka Diplomats, but although he hasn't chosen the type yet. Of course, we have the Associated Illusionist on board to, undo any damage that Diplomat's going to do with their honoring dishonor should they win. So I'm curious in chat with the people here. Obviously, this is a very difficult matchup pre-Disciples of Void. How do people feel that it's shifted post-Disciples of Void? Is it still Scorpion favored? Would be my guess, but I haven't played a lot of Phoenix or Scorpion sort of in the new meta. Has it shifted to even? Has it shifted to more 60-40 for Scorpion, or even closer? I'm talking about the new. Let's take the new box with a Shugenja focused spell focused deck. So what do people feel about has shifted? Oh, Kachiko blocks, which is on a military conflict, so he's both defensive and using her on a military. So that's quote unquote a little bit of a win for for Demagogue. Although I think Raph is thinking about it. It's just highlighted. I don't see it in the text box that actually defended with that amount of skill. Of course, if he doesn't have any conflict characters in hand, another Jimbo, his ability to win this military conflict is probably difficult. Barring, I think he's already used 2 4 shames. Let's double check how many 4 shames have been used. All 3 4 shames. There's more assassinates, of course, which would help win it, but I think the illusionist would be hard pressed to win a military conflict. And 7 cards left in Phoenix's hands. What have they used militarily? They have used all 3 charges. So that's, although charging Suki, not the scariest thing. Obviously the assassination is not going to be used. There's still 2 katanas. There was no bonsais in his deck. So as far as I can tell, supernatural storms and katanas are all that would be. And supernatural storm, well, +0/+0, not impressive. So looks like katanas are his options for military buff. Yeah, if I didn't mention it, he did opt for the air ring. Okay, so we do see one of those katanas coming out, taking him to winning the conflict, which obviously is very valuable to him at this point. I mean, there's a favorable ground sort of lurking, so I suppose defending with Kachiko always sort of made sense. If you can't do anything to stop this, you can just pull out and use Kachiko, a powerful political ability. Let go on that fine katana, so now taking it back to Scorpion on defense winning, and Scorpion takes it. But Kachiko bowed, and the diplomats obviously bowed as well, but unable to use their abilities. Certainly the standing board looks a lot more even than it did at the beginning of the round. So the fire, yeah, I think it's got to be a fire. Obviously, Liar selected, so political fire ring attack here. I mean, do you send just the Liar or the Liar and the Illusionist? I know obviously it would open you up to. I mean, the mediators have to block, and it opens you up to counterattacks by, let's say, a standing mediator, but does it matter? Because you just want to win this fire ring and dishonor one of the diplomats going away. And at that point, I don't think there's any way to gain honor on a character that's staying. I mean, sorry, that will be leaving this round. So it looks like he went with Illusionist, political, fire, yes, to gain the 2 fate and obviously to threaten the win here if he's able to take this conflict. It's interesting that he switched to the Illusionist. I mean, as you're saying in chat, they thought that Liar was the correct way because he has a military conflict left. And I don't think he has a military character. He could have played it last conflict. And now the Bushi Liar is not able to participate in military conflict. So given similar political stats, it's interesting that he opted for the Illusionist. So before the throne we see Kachiko, yeah, favorable ground in, and then sends one of the mediators home. There's a let go on Fast and Furious now. Let go on an ornate fan that Scorpion attempted to play on the Illusionist. So now the defenders, with the help of the favor, is still winning. Way of the Scorpion dishonors the mediator, so now the attacker is winning on the tie. Let's see what else. So we have a lot of cards used up. 2 for Scorpion, 4 remain for Phoenix. Let's see what they have left. And Demagogue wins as defender, using a court games to re-honor his mediator. So he's escaped both the dishonor rings, or sorry, the honor reducing rings, and we see passes because everyone was bowed, and we go on to another round. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed that Phoenix made it through that round. Bravo to them. Well played. To at least live another day, as it were. Okay, so we see flop. So we see an actress, always a strong character for Scorpion later in the rounds. Obviously, Hiraway as first player can be super annoying. I don't know if Yunako the greatest here is. I mean, sure, it'll be charged like it usually is. On the Phoenix side, there's a Prodigy of the Waves, super strong. Only at 7 Fate, not the best, and probably wants a little wider board, but I would imagine that's the one he's thinking about buying, as opposed to Sukune or Atsuko. The Diplomat has some appeal, but no, goes Prodigy of the Waves with 0 additional Fate. Certainly makes sense. He wants another character, although long term, is the position continues to erode. But the immediate danger is getting characters on the board to stave off the dishonor loss. And we see Scorpion buy the Cicero actress. Probably. So Demagogue's thinking about whether he wants to get a passive fate here, because I'm not sure. I don't think he's gotten a passive fate yet this game from Scorpion. So it'd be nice to get one, I suppose. Oh yeah, and Box Fox makes a really interesting point. The show actress can get the Diplomat, and then that's just another way to get that point of honor away from Phoenix by winning any conflict on any ring, dishonoring somebody. I mean, Hiraway pulling in somebody with him and Kachiko pulling in somebody, it's a pretty good chance that character's going to lose, especially with the added insult of being pulled in, then sent away, and then dishonored because Hiraway decided to pull you in. That type of thing. But we have Shigen just now, so we might see a Cloud the Mind come down on Kachiko. All in air, I would imagine, to get that last. Fire's also a possibility, but I mean, air is the most direct route to the win here. With a combined political strength of 16. So I mean, favor's nice, but favor's not going to help that much. Of course, Phoenix is no slouch in political either. They can mount a 11-12 with the favor strength political defense. But sorry, bids were 1-1, as you would guess. On to Meditations of the Tau. Nice to see. I mean, if he manages to win this. Of course, it's a very difficult situation. I think you have to block with everything, have some super good cards, including Cloud the Mind for Kachiko. Oh, Demagogue concedes. Yeah, it was a very difficult position there, but well fought by both players. As we've mentioned, it's a very difficult matchup. So yeah, that's the LCQ down. It looks like Raphelos is going to move on to face. Let's see if we know who his opponent's going to be. No, it'll either be Shenful or Akius the Scorpion King. So it looks like we're going to see Scorpion Mirror in the top 8 for Raphelos of the LCQ. Let's see the players. Demagogue asking why he risked flipping a character, flipping a new province. Makes sense. Can't go to before the throne. Yep. Breaking before the throne. Probably not the not the best thing for a dishonor strategy. So. And Raphelos mentioning he also had Fate Worse Than Death in hand. I don't know if Demagogue happened to have a censure or not. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the great comments, adding a lot of value there. And a great match by both players. Okay, bye.